Welcome to Manchester United Daily Updates. Before continuing this video, click the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest news from Manchester United. Paul Pogba drops cryptic transfer hint as fresh Man United return theory emerges. Paul Pogba has been linked with a remarkable return to Manchester United in recent weeks, and the midfielder has now teased that an announcement on his next club is close. Paul Pogba has hinted that he has a new club after sharing a cryptic social media message on Friday night. The former Manchester United and Juventus midfielder, 31, is a free agent after leaving the Italian giants in November. He had been hit with a 4-year doping ban prior to his departure from Juve, although this has since been reduced to 18 months. Pogba will be able to return to training in January before he becomes eligible to play games again in March, and his next destination could soon be revealed if his social media activity is anything to go by. In an Instagram post on Friday, Pogba shared a timer emoji complete with a zipped mouth and a winking face. And that's left some fans convinced that his next move has already been sealed. Pogba has failed to live up to his potential after returning to Old Trafford for a second spell back in 2016. The France international was a polarizing figure at United and left on a free transfer, for the second time, in 2022. Despite his decision to return Juventus, Pogba has been tentatively linked with another remarkable return to Manchester United, albeit in a different capacity, following rumours that he was set to return to England to train with his old club. Former Red Devils striker Louis Saha added fuel to those rumours earlier this week when he claimed that he'd heard Pogba could soon be returning to the club's Carrington training base. He told Casino Uton Spelpause, "I've heard some rumours that Paul Pogba will be offered the opportunity to come back and train with Man United in the new year, and I think that would be a great opportunity for Paul. He needs to get back to his best level as quickly as possible, and training with top players will help him to do that. I think he would be thrilled to have the opportunity to go back to the club." Pogba made over 230 appearances for Manchester United across his 2 spells at the club and won both the Europa League and the League Cup. Paul Pogba drops next club hint after Man United return link. Former Manchester United midfielder Paul Pogba has dropped a hint that suggests he is set to join a new club. The 31-year-old left Juventus last month and is ready to return to football in March after his 4-year ban for doping was reduced to 18 months following an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Pogba has been linked with moves to Marseille, Major League Soccer side Inter Miami in the Saudi Pro League, although no agreement has yet been reached. Speaking last month, Marseille and France midfielder, Adrien Rabiot, urged Pogba to make the move to Ligue 1. "I would advise him to come to Marseille, yes," Rabiot said. "Paul is a talented player. If he regains all his physical abilities and is also good in his head, he remains a top player." Pogba has now indicated that his next club could be revealed shortly with an Instagram post on Friday evening which included an hourglass emoji, a zipped face emoji and a winking face emoji. Pogba has not played in a competitive match since September last year before he was provisionally suspended after testing positive for testosterone. Earlier this week, former United striker Louis Saha claimed that he had heard suggestions that Pogba had received an offer to train with Ruben Amorim's side in the new year. "I've heard some rumours that Paul Pogba will be offered the opportunity to come back and train with Man United in the new year, and I think that would be a great opportunity for Paul," Saha told Casino Uton Spelpause. "He needs to get back to his best level as quickly as possible, and training with top players will help him to do that. I think he would be thrilled to have the opportunity to go back to the club. I think that Paul Pogba is still a very special player. When you think about midfielders, Pogba has unique qualities. I think the United squad lacks power in the midfield, and we're missing a skillful player that can play box-to-box, so he would be a good addition because he's a different profile of player to what United have." Man United now leading the race to sign £17 million star who haunted Erik Ten Hag. Manchester United have one priority position in 2025, with Ruben Amorim identifying it very quickly. The left side of Manchester United's team is struggling and has been for quite a while now. Erik ten Hag highlighted the lack of a left-footed left-back as one reason he was struggling so badly earlier this season. Now that Amorim has changed to using wing-backs, the issue has only been further highlighted, with Diogo Dalot failing to impress on the left. Manchester United lead Barcelona for Álvaro Fernandes. The decision to sell Álvaro Fernandes has haunted United for the past few months, as his move to Benfica has been very fruitful. After moving in the summer for £5.1 million, the 21-year-old has been a revelation, starting almost every week for the Portuguese giants. His electric form has led to United being linked with triggering the £17 million buyback clause. Now, the Red Devils are reportedly leading the race for the Spain U21 international. According to Portuguese outlet Ebola on Friday, both Barcelona, Real Madrid and United want Fernandes, but Ineos are expected to have the advantage. United are thought to have the upper hand with Benfica not keen to sell until next summer, however, they cannot refuse the buyback option should United trigger it. This could see new United kingmaker Jason Wilcox overhaul the position for Amorim. Ruben Amorim is going to overhaul the left wing-back position. Fernandes is one of several left-sided wing-back options who have been linked in recent weeks, demonstrating that it is the priority in January and beyond. The club are in advanced talks to sign Diego Leon, with the 17-year-old from Cerro Porteño one for the future in the position as he will join in July. Meanwhile, there are links to Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich, along with Lisa's exciting young Dane Patrick Dorgu. However, in an ideal world, the top option would and should be Sporting Lisbon's Maxi Araujo, who Amorim knows very well. It has been a rocky start for Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, but the newly appointed head coach has managed to identify improvements in our performances since taking charge. Manchester United remain unbeaten in Europe, but our league form has yet to pick up, with the Reds currently positioned 13th in the Premier League. Amorim has been tasked with turning things around at Old Trafford after Erik ten Hag was sent his marching orders last month. It can take time for a new head coach to implement his methods, and that is why fans need to be patient with Amorim. However, after such a slow start to the season, United need to start winning matches, or they can forget about finishing in the top four. United travel to the Etihad Stadium on Sunday, when they take on Manchester City in the derby. A defeat could leave the Reds closer to the relegation zone than the top four spots. Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim addresses Man City Pep Guardiola speculation. Ruben Amorim will experience a Manchester derby for the first time on Sunday, with City in their worst spell of form since Stuart Pearce was manager. Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim never discussed the possibility of replacing Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Amorim was the front-runner to take over from Guardiola before he signed a new 2-year contract with the Premier League champions, who have hired Amorim's former colleague Hugo Viana as their new sporting director for when Siki Begiristain departs in the summer. Viana worked with Amorim at Sporting and the pair are close personally and professionally. United chief executive Omar Barada convinced Amorim to join the club following the sacking of Erik ten Hag amid interest from City. City denied they ever considered Amorim as a contender to succeed Guardiola, and Amorim confirmed he received no contact from United's neighbours before Guardiola signed his extension 3 weeks ago. Never heard from them, and this was my only option, he said. When Manchester United talked to me I had no doubts. I had already something in my mind that could be a possibility. With Manchester City or Viana? Nothing about that. Guardiola is enduring the worst period of his 16-and-a-half-year coaching career after City lost 2-0 to Juventus in the Champions League on Wednesday night. City have won one of their past 10 matches, losing 7, with one of those reverses coming against Sporting in Amorim's penultimate match in charge last month. United have lost their last 2 league matches and have not suffered 3 successive league losses since December 2015. They came from behind to beat Victoria Plzen in the Europa League on Thursday evening but head into a Manchester derby in their lowest league position, 13th, since 2007. Although City's apparent decline is cause for optimism, Amorim disputed the suggestion it was a weaker City and reiterated United had plenty of issues of their own to address. No, Amorim stressed. The great teams can respond in any moment, and I think they are in a better place than us in type of understanding the game, the way they play, the confidence they have. Even in these kind of moments, we have a lot to focus on in our team. Of course we have a strategy to try to win the game with the strategy like it should be. But we are focused just on our team. We will face a great opponent and I'm more focused on our problem. So we have a lot of issues here. So I'm more focused on what we should do on Sunday to win the game. So I'm really focused on my team. Amorim coached Sporting in 11 Lisbon derbies against Benfica, enjoying victory on 5 occasions. The significance of the Manchester derby in the league has subsided over the past decade amid United's rut, but the FA Cup final triumph in May salvaged their worst league campaign in 34 years and ensured Ten Hag